is number
Units.
numerator is number of defects, denominator is number of units. What is number of defects noted? 62. What is number of units inspected? 120. 62 by 120. All of you will get 0.51. Hope it is clear. Now, we need to convert the defects per unit into defects per opportunity. So, in each GEMS, how many defects we checked actually? 5 defects. Correct?
Yes, sir.
When we say 5 defects, then opportunities per gem is counted as 5. So what will be the total number of opportunities? How many pieces we inspected? All of you can do little max, right?
120.
120.
Means they immediately keep away. No, please involve. So 120 gems into 5 defects each. Total number of opportunity will be 600. All right. Now, I want you to calculate defect per opportunity. Again, it is a question with answer. Defects how many?
62.
62.
62.
62.
What is the total opportunity?
600.
Beautiful. 62 divided by 600. DPO is 0.1033. Hope all of you understand. DPO. Now what is required? DPMO is required. Please answer this question. Simple question. If one apple is 1 rupee, what will be the cost of 1 million apple?
1 million, sir.
1 million.
That's the same procedure is required here. When defect per opportunity is 0.1033, then defects per million opportunity is multiplied by 1 million. 1 million is 10 to the power of 6 zeros. So I do this in this manner, equal to this number multiplied by 10 raised to the power of 6. 10 raised to the power of 6. All of you can see this. When I enter,
Yes, sir.
I get a DPMO of 1,03,333. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is the calculation behind
Yes, sir.
DPMO. If DPMO is found to be lesser than 3.4, then the performance is considered Six Sigma performance. In this case, look at the DPMO. How much it is? 1,03,333.
33.
This is very high compared to Six Sigma performance. Let us convert this DPMO into Sigma level. For that, I am going to the other part of this Excel file. Can all of you see the Sigma level calculator here? Can you all see?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now the first option, DPMO. Look here in DPMO, when I type 3.4, it is showing Sigma level. What is the Sigma level? Long term, 4.5. Sigma, short term, how much?
6.
6 Sigma. When the DPMO is just 3.4, your short-term Sigma level is 6, long-term Sigma level is 4.5. Always in long term, the performance will drop. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Long
Yes,
term,
sir. Yes.
the performance will eventually drop because of, the variation will increase. Machine wear and tear will increase. Isn't it? With all these changes, long-term performance will be lower. And that is why always long-term Sigma level will be 1.5 less than short-term. Now, what is our DPMO? Let us type. What is our DPMO? 1,03,033.
333.
Let me type this 3,333 and then enter. Now, can you please read the Sigma level? Short-term.
2.76.
Minus 1.5. Long-term Sigma level is 1.26. Now tell me, in this manner, will you be able to calculate DPMO and Sigma level for any product or any service?
Yes, sir.
What is
Yes, sir.
important is defect opportunities must be defined. In the GEMS chocolate, we defined 5 defects. According to the 5 defects, we did a testing and inspection, and now we realize the DPMO is 1,03,333. Similarly, if your product is, let's say a food product, let's say you are selling, some water bottle. You're selling water bottle. There are certain CTQ in a water bottle, right? There should not be any leakage. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, the fill volume should be as per the spec. That is another defect. Because customer will definitely check all of this. If they buy a water bottle and if it is leaking, do you think the customer will still buy?
No, sir.
That will be a great opportunity. And if the water is mentioned as 500 ml, and they may not actually check very accurately, but then by look itself, if they understand it is less than 400 ml, then also that will be a problem. So likewise, the defects have to be defined from the customer perspective. But see here, in our case, we discussed about the GEMS chocolate. We found that sigma level is very, very bad, isn't it? Look here, sigma
Yes.
level is 2.76 short term and 1.26
Yes.
long, very bad. But how about the GEMS business? Is it selling well?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Indeed.
It is contradicting our understanding. When sigma level is high, performance should, the business performance should also be high. The quality will be high. When sigma level is low, and quality should be low. But here, sigma level seems to be low, but still business is high. Why it is contradicting? It is because of wrong CTQs. It is because of wrong CTQs. What is important to your customer? That should be checked in your quality inspection. Am I right?
Yes.
Right, sir.
Customer is
Yes.
checking something and you are checking something else. These kind of misinterpretation will happen. You might think your product quality is great, but still, it will not sell properly in the market. The other possibility is what we are currently seeing. If we think that the quality is bad, but still it is doing extremely well, that means the CTQs we identified are not the real CTQs. Why this mistake has happened? Because we have poorly understood the customer segment, isn't it? Who is the customer segment? Kids.
Yes, sir.
Kids at the age of 10 and below are the major customer segment. According to them, these are not defects. Am I right?
Yes,
Small
sir.
kids, is it going to affect their experience? No. Even if you give everything in a powder format, they'll still put everything and then they'll be happy about it. Isn't it? So cracks are not the defects for kids. Color mixing are not the defects for kids. Maybe count, if it is less, they will be worried. Oh, you are getting 10, I am getting only 8. You are getting 12 and I am getting only 7. This can be a problem. So the all other things, and the taste is also an important CTQ, isn't it? If they don't like the taste, they may not. So there are only 2 CTQs which are correct with us. All remaining are wrong CTQs. If I remove all those wrong CTQs, the sigma level should shoot up. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let me try that. GEMS exercise. So I should not count all of this. I should only use this. I should use this. So how many count defects?
2.
Count defects are 10,
10,
10.
and this color defect are not defects.
2,
Last one is taste. So 10 plus 10, 20. I think the taste defect came from gentleman Lakshmanan. So Lakshmanan don't like
Yes,
the
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So it is heavily affecting our sigma level. No problem. We'll still calculate and understand, right? So number of defects will now become how many? 20,
Yes,
right?
sir.
20.
I
Hello?
put 20, then all the calculation will change. And look at your DPMO. It is now much lesser, but still it is higher on the higher side.
Oh.
33,000, I think,
Hello.
Mondes, the GEMS, they should do
Hello?
something about it. Am I right? They should do
Sure.
something about it. And 33,333. When I take this value to the what you call sigma level calculator. Here it is. I should type 33,333, all three. Now, can you see improvement in the sigma level?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So this is one way of measuring performance and measuring sigma level and calculating DPM.
Hello.
Yes, madam.
Yeah, sir, I have a doubt in this.
Yeah, please.
Like now we consider the units inspected as 120,
Yes.
but since some packets had less count and some had more, should we go for the actual number or should we consider it as 10 in every packet and then take the number?
Actual number will be very accurate.
Okay. Okay.
So actual number is the accurate way of calculation, but to save time,
Right.
I simply assumed 10.
Okay.
So-
Okay. So the actual
You are
number
right.
should be actually calculated.
Yeah, you are right, and our calculation is wrong.
Okay,
Correct.
sir. I had this
Good.
doubt. That's it. Yeah.
True. Very good. You
Okay.
have to be, correct. And
Yeah.
quality inspectors have to be vigilant like this.
Yeah, sir. I work as a quality
Yeah.
manager.
Correct.
And one more thing in this, now
Yeah.
this packet is like they sell it for like the net weight packet. So 7.5, 7.9 grams. So the number 10 is also an assumed value.
Correct. So that means they measure the CTQ in terms of grams.
Right. Okay.
We measure the CTQ in terms of the count.
Okay.
That's another reason for the misinterpretation of the quality.
Okay. Okay.
The way it is to be measured, that way only it should be measured.
Understood, sir.
But I have a point here. I don't think kids will measure in terms of grams.
Right.
Kids will always, measure in terms of count only. It is better. The
Hmm.
Mondelez, which is producing these gems, should also, make the specification as the count instead of grams.
Right. Right.
They are not able to make every gem in the exactly, same number of grams. That's why, they are working on total grams instead of not total count. Maybe
Okay.
I think they will overcome and then try to have, the same number of gems in every packet.
Understood, sir. Thank you.
Good questions. How about others? All others, you don't see any doubt? You don't get any doubts? Crystal clear to you? Yes?
Yes, sir.
That means we can continue now, right? We'll continue with the slides.
Sir, what is the correct?
Yeah. Any question? What is?
Sir,
Yeah,
what
one
is
of-
the good Six Sigma value for this? I missed that.
What is the?
What is a good Six Sigma value?
It's not sigma value. It is called six. It is not Six Sigma value. It is called sigma level. We
Okay.
just found sigma level as 3.26 because the DPMO was found to be 33,333. The sigma level is found to be 3.26. We just applied the DPMO value in the sigma level calculator and we got the sigma level, right? All right. So hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Just now we had this GEMS experiment. Now I want all of you to understand an important concept known as operational excellence. Known as operational excellence. Let us consider an example where it is clearly showing the market share of different mobile network companies, isn't it? Companies like Reliance, Vodafone, Bharti Airtel, etc. See, in the year 2016, what is this blue color company? This is Airtel, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think I must be given the control to mute the participant, or otherwise, Sandeep Varu, you have to mute yourself. Yeah, he did it. So the Bharti Airtel market share is 31%. What is this 39%? Vodafone
Vodafone.
and other industries, it is
29,
other players
29.
29%. Then in the year 2017, this is the scenario. But 2018, can you see a new company entering?
Yes, sir.
Reliance Jio. The same year, they acquired a market share of 11%. Or these 11% of the people came from other planet, or even these 11% also came from the same earth? Same earth only, isn't it?
Same as
That means all these customers, Jio was able to acquire from the competitors, isn't it?
yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
I think from the statistics, you can understand majority came from these other players and few came from Vodafone. That's why Vodafone market share has dropped by 3% and the other players market share dropped to 19%. Somehow Airtel is able to retain their customer. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now I want you to answer me a question. Why these 11% of the people moved from other network to Jio?
Offer, sir.
You given the
Economical, sir, economical.
Is it
That-
only offer or is it offer with the quality?
Offer with the quality.
Proper with the quality and local.
quality.
Offers with the quality
With low
without
price.
compromising on the quality. Offers with quality, right? Offers with quality. And again, subsequently, so, and subsequently continued in this next year also. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So not just,
Yes,
come out with the offer for a shorter time and then, they immediately pulled it back. They made the offer available. I think it, throughout for a 2 years period. Am I right? It was completely free. And that is their strategy. Their strategy is to delight the customer with the best in class quality. And they did that. As a result, lot of customers they were able to acquire from their competitors. And in the immediate next year, they have become the number 3 in the market position. Can you see that? Just 2 years brought them to number 3 position. And in the immediate next year, 2020, can you see them in the number 1 position?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
3 years of effort made a new company become a market leader.
He grabbed from Vodafone and others.
Yes. The aggressive campaign, the drive behind making the company number 1, that is known as operational excellence. How many of you understand?
Yes, sir.
Aggressive campaign, the company, triggered, and what do you call the, they actually had a strategy. Their strategy is to acquire the customer from the competitor. And in fact, the strategy is a long-term strategy. We call something as a strategy only when we follow it for a long term. Long term means minimum 3 years. So first 3 years, there were beautiful offers. The company was not having any intention of making money. The company's only goal is acquiring new customers, and that made the company really number 1. So such a drive, such an aggressive drive, such an aggressive campaign is known as operational excellence. Now we can read the definition. Can one of you read it louder, the definition of operational excellence?
Yes, sir.
Please. Yeah, please read it louder. One of you who have a higher, tone. My throat is little upset.
Operational excellence is the execution of the
Only one.
operational strategy consistently and reliably better than the competition in terms of quality, productivity, and cost with lower operational risk, leading to increased revenues and profit relative to its competitor.
Enough. Operational excellence means executing the strategy and to the level that you do it better than your competitors, right? And in terms of quality, in terms of productivity, in terms of cost. Quality wise, Jio gave their best. Cost wise, it was the least. So as per rule of nature, your company must grow. Am I right? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir.
sir.
This is what happened, and the whole drive is known as, whole campaign is known as operational excellence. So you all, your company can also become number one. Is my statement correct? You may be a small
sir.
startup, you may be a new company having a new product, but still, I'm not saying that your company will become number one tomorrow, but definitely in 3 years' time, something is possible. What required is the right strategy. What required is the right people to live the strategy. Everyone should be aligned, every project should be aligned, every effort should be in the direction of making your company number one as per the planned strategy. That is known as operational excellence. So Lean Six Sigma is nothing but an operational excellence strategy. That's all. Lean Six Sigma is an operational excellence strategy that can make your company really number one in long term, keeping quality as the strategic focus. Keeping quality as the strategic focus. So now, there are two types of equation you are seeing here. In the first equation, cost plus profit equal to price. This is old equation. Look at the new equation. Price minus cost equal to profit. That, what is the difference? Mathematically, there is no difference. Am I right? But logically, there is a difference. Can one of you tell me what's exactly the difference in the logic here? Mathematically, it is same. When I bring the, take the profit, keep the profit this side, then what will happen to the cost? That will go to the other side. That will be price minus cost. So mathematically same, but logically different. What is the difference? Can one of you tell me? Come on, speak out.
Pre-calculations and post-calculations of the sales.
Good try, good try.
Maybe selling price, cost may be manufactured.
So in olden days or traditionally companies, believed in this equation. That means any product, there will be a manufacturing cost. You can see here. Manufacturing cost and overhead, which is known as, operating cost. The operating cost is here. My product operating cost is 100 rupees. I need a profit of 20 rupees. So what do? I add 20 rupees. So my product price will be 120 rupees. Do you think you can fix the price you want for your product? Always?
No.
No way.
Unless you are a monopoly. You can't do it that way, isn't it? Nowadays, for every product, a competition exists. Market knows its price. So having said that, the price is fixed. But still, you want to make more profit. So you must start believing in the other equation. What is the other equation? Price minus cost. If I reduce my cost, what will happen to my profit?
It will increase.
Profit will become
We will be
bigger.
profitable.
So without hurting the interest of the customer, because customer always wants high quality product at a low cost. So without hurting the customer's interest and requirement, I still be able to make a big profit when I start believing in the second equation. What is second equation? Price minus cost equal to profit. This thinking, is different.
The cost in the second equation, the operational cost, means the cost which we get to manufacturing the product.
Yes, correct. Exactly. The cost is operating cost. That includes the manufacturing cost as well as your overhead. Now, in any business, customer satisfaction is important to the growth. So faultless quality, on-time delivery, quick service, and lowest price. These are customer requirements. While meeting these requirements, the organization should remain profitable. And in order to make it happen, what should I do? For example, anything related to the cost truly depends on the cost of the process. Am I right? I can make a product in using, different methods. Accordingly, there will be a cost involved, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So it is fundamentally the process cost that drives the selling price. And schedule again depends on the speed of the process. If I produce manually, the speed will be slow. If I use some machineries, automation, then I will be able to produce faster, isn't it? So the on delivery time depends on process speed, and quality, that depends on something called process capability. Ultimately, whether it is quality or time or cost, all of them depends on the process. Can you see that, all of you? You can make
Yes.
a product, the way you want it. But ultimately, the method by which you produce a product, that's known as process. That will decide its quality and the, delivery time as well as the cost. So that means everything is boiling down to process. But in an ideal situation, every company will receive the best quality raw material at a minimum price. The company will have the best people and process producing world-class quality. And the company is able to produce.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So sorry to interrupt you. Shall we go for that first one, and can you please explain that what is this cost saving and all? The cost, you told that manufacturing cost will be more. The formula cost plus inventory will be the profit and all. So, but cost plus profit is equal to price, you told, no? So this same, can you please explain once again?
No, these are two different, way of thinking. So
Okay.
here the company believes that they can fix the price they want.
Okay.
In that case, price can be arrived in this manner. How can you arrive the price?
Okay.
Suppose tomorrow you start a company. Who
Okay.
will fix the price? You will fix the price. And your
Yes.
ideology is you calculate manufacturing cost, you add some profit, and then you arrive on a price.
Mm-hmm.
But in today's situation, I don't think that strategy will hold good. Any product you produce, there will be some competitors. They will be having, the best same level of quality or even a better level of quality and still selling the product at a lower price.
Yes, yes.
You will be forced to sell your product at the current market price only.
Yes.
And so your profit is decided by the manufacturing cost or the operating cost. If your operating cost is low, your profit will be high. If your operating cost is very high, then your profit will be thin. In some companies, it will be negative also. So this is the current scenario. So in order to make profit in the current scenario, organizations must work on reducing the cost. At least must work on reducing the cost of poor quality. And we will be learning it in the program.
Okay, thank you.
So now here we are talking about ideal scenario. Ideal scenario means you get best raw material, you get best people and best process, and you get, you are able to produce everything at the lowest cost and just in times, and your products are readily picked up by the customers. If this is the scenario, then every organization will make huge profit. But I don't think all of you are experiencing this scenario, isn't it? All of you will definitely have problem with the raw material. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Gap, and you are not getting, you are not able to produce. You are not able to produce at the lowest cost. And sometimes what happens, you produce products and then all of them becomes inventory. There are no takers. So all these things are, the challenges. So what we need to do? We need to overcome the challenges. If you really wanted to overcome the challenges, we need to focus on three things. One is defect reduction. One is defect reduction. Defect reduction means our products and services are now free from defects. That means they are now having a better quality. Am I right?
Yes.
When
Yes,
I
sir.
work on defect reduction, my product's quality will keep improving. And similarly, we work on increasing the speed of the process. When I increase the speed of the process, what happens? I will be able to deliver faster. Am I right?
Yes,
I'll
sir.
be able to deliver faster. But how do I increase the speed? Does it mean I increase the speed of my machines? Does it mean my people are running here and there very fast? No.
Sir, by reducing the defects in the machinery,
Yeah,
means
not
like
not only reducing the defects, reducing all unproductive activities. We call them as waste. The
Yes, sir.
first aspect is defect reduction, by which quality improves. The second aspect is waste reduction. As a result, your process will lead time will come down. You will be able to do faster. So defect reduction is known as Six Sigma. Waste reduction is known as Lean. All of you get my point? So defect reduction means Six Sigma. Any effort that is focusing on reducing the defects should be called as Six Sigma project. Any effort that is focusing on eliminating the unproductive activities, also called as wasteful activities. When I say waste or unproductive, it simply means customer doesn't value it. If customer doesn't value it, then what are you doing? You are doing an unproductive work. Am I right?
Yes,
So
sir.
eliminating those wasteful activities are known as, is known as lean. So any effort that is focusing on reducing the wasteful activity should be called as lean project, or any effort that is focusing on reducing the defect should be called as Six Sigma project. If you do both, the manufacturing cost will come down. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Right? So that's why Lean and Six Sigma are integrated. So single approach, Lean, Six Sigma, integrated and implemented as a single approach will help any organization improve the quality, reduce the time, as well as reduce the cost, which are, very, very important in any business. All of you are with me? You understand what I'm speaking?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Now I want to use, I want to make sure my company is also on a drive to become number one. That means I want to make sure my company is operationally excellent. What is operationally excellent? What is operation, first of all? Operation means daily.
The processes which are used to manufacture the product.
Yeah. Operation means daily activities. If your daily activities are better than your competitors, you should obviously grow, isn't it? Your market share should improve because you are performing better than your competitor. In order to make sure you perform better than your competitor, normally companies, who are on an operational excellence drive, they will try to identify gaps. Gap means gap in resources, gap in skill, gap in terms of process capability, isn't it? Gap in terms of efficiency. All these gaps will be identified. These gaps are known as improvement opportunities. Or other words, these are nothing but the existing problems. Gaps are nothing but problems. All these problems are nothing but improvement opportunities. Now, in order to solve all these problems, we need problem-solving methodologies. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now there are different methodologies that are written here. Certain problems are called, certain methodology are called just do it. What is just do it? You have a problem, you also have a solution. And it doesn't require much effort. Then what should you do? Just do it. For example, if you all wake up early in the morning, is it good for your career?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then just do it. Certain problems, belongs to this category, isn't it? We know it's a mistake, but we still, continue doing it. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Mindset,
Yes, sir.
problem related to mindset, problem related to culture, right? And all these things can be arrested by adopting this. Some other problem. It requires minimal effort, not much budget, but definitely, requires some system so that, people are motivated to solve small problems. Because a lot of small problems will one day become a big problem. Isn't it? If all small problem you don't attend, you know what will happen? One day it will become a big problem. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is called Kaizen. Kaizen means small continuous improvement. PDCA, also known as Deming cycle, plan, do, check, act. PDCA means plan, do, check, act. This is again another problem solving methodology by which you can improve your performance. And lean, and please note, certain approaches are meant for small improvement, like just do it, Kaizen, even PDCA. This is for small improvement, but certain approaches are meant for breakthrough improvement. Breakthrough improvement means you will be able, long term. You will be able to achieve the improvement only by putting efforts over a longer term. So the remaining methodologies fall in that category. Lean, Six Sigma,
Sir, can
Design
you
for
please
Six
repeat the
Sigma.
full form of PDCA?
Plan, do, check, act.
Okay,
Plan,
sir. Thank you.
do, check, act. And now Lean, Six Sigma, and Design for Six Sigma, project management. All of these are known as breakthrough improvement methodologies. These are known as breakthrough improvement. For example, your company's profit margin will get doubled. Your company will become number one in 3 years' time. So all these things are possible. All these things are possible with these approaches. Now, how specifically Six Sigma differs from other approaches, particularly how it differs from project management. All these things are problem-solving methodologies. Please note, all these things are problem-solving methodologies. Sometimes you have a problem, but you don't have a solution. The situation is you have a problem, but you do not have a solution. Why you do not have a solution? Because we don't know what is the root cause. Because we don't know what is the root cause. Those are the candidates for Six Sigma. So when to go for Six Sigma? There is a problem, but there is no solution. Why there is no solution? Root cause is unknown. That means the situation becomes a candidate for Six Sigma. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
When I say project management, let's say Metro is getting implemented in many cities. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Those projects come under project management. Lot of project managers, they get job in Metro project, because project management means there is a problem. What is the problem Metro is solving? Traffic, right?
Traveling time.
Traveling time is more, lot of
Travel and
traffic on the
traffic.
road. So that is the problem. And as ready-made solution is available. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Metro is implemented in you, needs to be implemented in your city. You don't have to reinvent anything, isn't it? Because already it is a proven solution in many other cities. So the same solution will be implemented in your city. That means there is a problem, there is also a solution. When a solution exists to a problem and then you want to implement the solution, that is known as project management. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the role of a project manager is to ensure the project is completed on time and within the allotted budget. But the role of a Six Sigma expert, responsibility of a Six Sigma expert goes beyond time and resource. Here also time is important. People will expect you to finish the project on time. Ravi? People will expect you to finish on time and complete your project within the allotted budget. But over and above, developing solution is also your responsibility, isn't it? So that means you are really working on a challenging project. That's why Six Sigma experts are special. If you really become good in doing that, you will become an asset in your company, because you not only handle projects, complete projects on time, and then complete projects within the allotted budget. You also develop new solution where even the root causes are unclear, right? So that's why Six Sigma bells are special. So our survival is dependent on growing the business, but our business growth is largely determined by customer satisfaction. But customer satisfaction is governed by quality, price, and delivery. But quality, price, and delivery are controlled by process capability. But our process capability is greatly limited by variation. What is variation here? Variation in the raw material quality, where machine to machine variation, operator to operator variation, factory to factory variation. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
All these variation will affect your final quality. So in order to study the variation, you have to be very, very systematic. In fact, you have to be scientific. You have to collect data to understand the amount of quantum of variation. So process variation leads to increase in defects, increase in cost, and increase in cycle time. If you don't monitor, control, and and reduce the variation, you will obviously have problems in terms of quality, in terms of cost, as well as in terms of timeline. So to eliminate variation, we all must apply right knowledge. In order to apply the right knowledge, we must first acquire it. To acquire new knowledge means we all have the will to survive. So companies who understand this sequence, understand these linkage, they think of equipping their employees on variation reduction, which is nothing but Six Sigma. Because when I reduce variation, my quality will go up. My cost will come down. I will be able to deliver on time. So the scientific reason behind failure in terms of quality, delivery, and cost is variation. Is that clear to all of you? If you know how to monitor and how to control variation, you know how to systematically improve the quality, how to systematically improve the on-time delivery, and as well as reduce cost. You will achieve all of this through process improvement, which is nothing but the job of a Six Sigma expert. All right. So I think we should have a short break here. What is the time now?
9 o'clock, sir.
Almost 9.
So let us have a short break here for 10 minutes,
Okay.
and then we'll continue. All right.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Abba. அதான் நானும் செக் பண்றேன். So let's try to move a little faster. So please confirm, can you see my slide?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We can.
Yes, sir.
So now I have a simple question to all of you. Out of the four cars I'm showing in my screen, which car is a quality car? Please choose the one you feel it as quality car and type your answers in the chat box. You type it in the chat box. And all of you keep an eye on the chat box. So I could see each one of you typing BMW except one person who typed Desire. 1% saying Maruti. Right. All right. So now let me ask another question. Right. The next question is, which car is a luxurious car? I think now even those one or two who chose the other model, now they have to choose BMW, isn't it?
BMW.
So that means we often confuse between quality and luxury. Clearly, BMW is a luxurious car, but all the cars are quality cars. Am I right? Sir, no?
Yes, sir.
Why do I say all the cars are quality cars? Because all of them met the requirements of a specific customer segment who purchased the cars, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Here is customer segment is different, and so their requirements are different, but all these cars fulfilled those requirements. So all the four can be called quality cars, right? So quality means meeting customer requirements. Again, quality happens in 4 steps. The first step, understanding customer requirement.
Like, yeah.
The first step is understanding customer requirement. When I say understanding customer requirement, you must understand the customer segment and then understand their specific requirements. You are considered to have understood the customer requirement if you have the list of all the CTQs. So when can you say you have understood the customer requirement? Only when you have all the CTQs in your hand. So what are CTQs? Critical to quality.
Quality characteristics.
These are always measurable characteristics. If you say this is customer requirement and you also say you can't measure it, it doesn't mean you have a CTQ. CTQ means it is measurable. All of you are with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In Yellow Belt training program also.
But sir, I have a question. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was working in an aerospace industry. In the drawing dimension will be mentioned as CTQ. Okay. So what we understand the CTQ is that particular dimension cannot be checked by the quality. Okay. So that particular dimension means the particular dimension can be confirmed by the customer at the assembly end.
Okay.
So that is what we understood. So right now, how we can tell that this dimension can be checked in at our end? Since you are telling that can be checked at our end.
Yeah. See, first of all, we need to have a clarity on who is a customer. Customer is different, end user is different. Sometimes the word customer can represent end user also. But there are different terminology exists. End user means the person who is buying the product. Am I right? The person who is paying for the product. But when I say customer, the customer can be end user, customer can be internal also. Who is an internal customer? My process output becomes input to the next process. Possible sometimes, isn't it? I produce and then I give everything to the assembly department. Now assembly department is my customer. Can you see that?
Yes.
I am producing for the assembly department and assembly department is producing for the packaging department. So the internal customers requirements have to be understood. So then CTQ is defined from the point of view of the internal customer. Because if you don't fulfill the internal customer requirement, the end user experience will be bad. Am I right or not? So CTQs are measurable characteristics that are responsible for end user's satisfaction, that is customer satisfaction. So, but customer can be external, customer can be internal. All their requirements come under CTQ. Some of the CTQs your customer, your end user may not be directly interested in, but still, if you don't do well, that will affect their level of satisfaction. For example, if you are buying a car, mileage is a customer requirement. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But the engine CC and the engine pressure, fuel injection pressure, and the piston diameter, these are not customer requirement. Am I right? Customer requirement is mileage.
Correct.
But
Definitely.
all these things finally decides the mileage.
Yes, sir.
Even though end user is not concerned about the engine CC, end user is not concerned about the piston diameter, all these things are requirements of internal customer. Yes or no?
Yes.
If piston size and engine bore and all these things are not proper, then your engine will not pass through the testing. It will not produce the required power and it will not deliver the required mileage and ultimately spoiling your end user's experience. So you have to have a clarity of the stakeholders, or I mean the end user, internal customer, external customer, everyone involved. All the requirements you must have a clarity, and all those requirements must be converted into measurable characteristics. That is step number 1. All of you understand? Your responsibility
Yes, sir.
Your responsibility is really challenging. You might think that hey, you are just producing a simple product, but the requirements, for example, the Yellow Belt training program, you all have come, you have some requirement, but then the requirement is considered to be understood. Only we can measure them, isn't it? If we don't measure batch by batch, participant will come and
introduction. What is quality?
if we don't have the CTQ, batch by batch participants will come. This is our 42nd batch this year. And because we are meeting their expectation, people are referring people, isn't it? And then people are coming. So that means you need to know your CTQs. For
Yes,
example,
sir.
what can be CTQ in an Yellow Belt program? Can one of you speak out? What can be a good CTQ in an Yellow Belt training program? Come on.
Quality of the learning.
It should be measurable. When you say quality, how do you measure it?
We are doing the test now, sir. Finally, then we'll know the quality of the.
Outcome of the result.
Come again?
Understand the formula of sir.
Understand formula. Okay.
Timings and weekends.
Sometimes what happens, customer himself, may not be clear about the requirement. Mostly in education industry, it happens. Customer themselves, they don't know what do they want, but they are ready to pay, but they are not clear what can they expect. So, but still, it is your responsibility to take care of their requirement, isn't it? Just because customer do not know their requirement, you can't take advantage. You have to really fulfill. Yellow Belt means there is a standard, there are certain content need to be covered. The duration of the training is a CTQ. Am I right? Duration of the training is a CTQ. It is measurable. And then the number of tools we are covering, that is also a CTQ, isn't it? At the end of the program, if you know have idea about many tools, then you will be happy about it. That means these characteristics really impact your level of satisfaction. So they are called CTQs. Now, once CTQs are clear, you can proceed to the next step, which is known as designing your product and designing your service. And the outcome of the design is prototype. The prototype will confirm that your design will fulfill the customer requirement. But however, the prototyping, we make only few pieces, but we want to produce mass production, isn't it? Because we want to sell, to everyone. So for mass production, you can't follow the same prototyping way of production. You will go for developing a process that is suitable for mass production in a way that the quality of the first product and the quality of the nth product are same. A process is considered to be present if the quality of the first product and the quality of the nth product are same. Do you understand the definition of a process? A process is considered to exist if the quality of the first output and the quality of the nth output, n can be 10, n can be 1000, n can be 1 million. The quality has to be same. Then a process is considered to be present. And finally, to ensure quality, you need people to control and then manage the process. Because process can have variation, isn't it? If the process has variation, then quality will also have, output also will have variation. So some control is required. Every shift, when you are beginning the shift, someone ensures the settings are proper, isn't it? At the starting of the shift, somebody will be ensuring the settings are good. The raw material somebody is checking. That is called process control. Every day you do a lot of checking. That is called process control. But in spite of the process control, sometimes what happens? There comes a requirement to improve your process further. That is called managing. Sometimes customer requirement will change, then we need to improve the process. Sometimes our competitor will be doing better than us. We need to improve the process. So ultimately, all of us here, we are responsible for effective process control and effective process improvement. One more time, the quality is boiling down to process. Hope all of you can see that, right? So process improvement is the key to quality. Imagine you have an orange tree. What kind of fruits the orange tree can give? It can give orange fruits. But you want apple. Tell me, will you be able to produce apple from the orange tree?
No.
No, sir.
It is
No,
impossible.
sir.
Because orange tree can only give oranges. If you want apple, that means if you want to change the fruits, you must necessarily change the roots. Unless and until you change the roots, you can't change the fruits, right? So this is very, very true. But the biggest insanity is organization expect better result, but they run the same process. By running the same process, they expect better results. It is as good as expecting apple from an orange tree. Doing the same thing again and again, how can you get better results? All right. So what is required is process improvement, right? Unless and until you improve the process, your results are not going to improve. In Six Sigma, we call it as y equal to f of x. In Six Sigma, we call it as y equal to f of x, where y is the output, x are the input. Y is the output, x are the input. The quality of the output definitely depends on the quality of the input. Is my statement correct?
Yes, sir.
The quality of the output
Correct.
depends on the quality of the input. That is why the output is known as dependent variable in mathematics. You all might have studied. The output is known as dependent variable. What is that? Y variable. And the X variable, the inputs can be fixed according to your requirement, right? So the inputs can be fixed without depending on anything else. Whatever is appropriate, according to the required output, you can fix them. So X are known as independent variable. X are known as independent variable. Imagine you are running a coffee outlet and your product is coffee. And now the taste of the coffee is very important. The taste of the coffee is very important. So the taste of the coffee is output variable or input variable? Output variable.
Output variable.
Customer will always see your output. So when customer can definitely sense the taste. When I say taste of the coffee, it depends on many X factors. So taste is Y. What are the X factor? Can you all please comment on the X factor?
Addition of milk, addition of different types of
addition of
coffee.
sugar.
Growing region of coffee,
Different type of coffee.
climate, coffee beans.
Quality of ingredients.
Very good.
The temperature and the time at which the coffee has been made.
Drinking quality.
Very good. Beautiful. Temperature, coffee beans, sugar, milk, some water, stirring, and the type of stove used, the mood of the chef. Everything is important, isn't it? All of this becomes the input. Finally, the output is tasty coffee. When I say my coffee is tasty, that means it has the required amount of aroma, the required amount of strongness, the required amount of sweetness, the required amount of hotness. Am I correct in my language?
Yes.
The coffee is sweet enough, hot enough, strong enough, then only you use the word you use the word tasty. Hope all of you understand. So let me write something here. So pointer. So I say my coffee is taste. Taster means big Y. Now I understand. Taste means coffee should be strong enough. Coffee should be hot enough. And coffee should be sweet enough. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We call them as characteristics of the coffee. Here it is sweetness. Here it is hotness. Here it is strongness. If there is a problem with the strongness, people will not buy your coffee. If there is a problem with hotness, people will not buy your coffee. If there is a problem with the sweetness, people will not buy your coffee. That means the Y is now drilled down to Y1, Y2, Y3. If you take care of Y1, take care of Y2, take care of Y3, that means you are taking care of the bigger Y. What is bigger Y?
Tasty.
Very good.
Output
The
is
taste of the coffee.
Good quality of coffee.
Very good. Good quality of the coffee. The taste of the coffee depends on three things: Y1, Y2, Y3. Now, let us assume there is a problem with Y1. What is Y1? Y1 is strongness of the coffee. Now tell me, strongness depends on what?
Quality of coffee bean.
Quality of the coffee beans.
Oh,
Roasting.
coffee beans. The amount of coffee beans is
The quality
extra.
and quantity both.
Amount of coffee beans is critical to strongness. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now hotness. Hotness depends on the temperature at which coffee is served.
At which the coffee has met.
Temperature.
The temperature at which coffee is served. So temperature is critical to hotness. And sweetness depends on
Amount of sugar.
amount of sugar.
Sugar.
That
Added in
means
coffee.
sugar is critical to sweetness. All right. Any problem with the strongness, you will immediately optimize X1. What is X1? Amount of coffee powder. Any problem with hotness, you immediately adjust the temperature. Any problem with the sweetness, you immediately adjust with adjust the amount of. And what happened when I adjust the sugar and optimize the sugar, sweetness will get optimized. This is called problem solving. This is called problem solving. If you have a problem with your Y, then you immediately identify the critical X. As far as the sweetness, the critical X is amount of sugar. As far as the strongness, the critical X is amount of coffee beans. Isn't it? So a factor is considered to have a strong impact on your product characteristics. If a product has a strong impact on the product characteristics, the factor is considered a critical factor. Nothing but the root cause. If a critical factor is under trouble, then the characteristics will be under trouble. Then the factor will be called as the root cause. All of you understand what is the root cause?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. The critical factor is having, is disturbed. Then the characteristics of the product will get affected. In such a scenario, that particular critical factor is known as root cause. So if you are on a problem solving effort, problem solving project, the first thing to do is identifying the critical factors. What is the first step towards problem solving? Identifying critical factor. In order to identify the critical factor, you should have a clear understanding of the problem. When you say the problem is taste, you are not clear. Isn't it? Because taste ultimately means taste is drilled down to strongness, hotness, sweetness. Similarly, in your product also, there are several characteristics, isn't it? Every characteristics of your product depends on certain input factor. Those input factors are known as critical factors. The first step towards problem solving is identifying critical factor. Second step is studying the relationship, or second step is, I'll tell you, second step is validating the criticality. Second step is validating the critical factor. First step is identifying critical factor. Second step is validating critical factor. Validating means everyone in your organization is convinced about your root cause identification. You identified the root cause. The people around you, people in your company, all of them agree with you. Then it is known as root cause validation. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
If they
Yes,
don't
sir.
agree, then you have to prove. If they all agree, then root cause is validated. Then they will allow you to take action. But if some of them don't agree, then you have the responsibility to prove that the factor is the root cause. Suppose if you have to prove sugar is responsible for the sweetness, will you be able to prove? Tell me. How will you prove sugar is responsible for the sweetness in the coffee? How will you prove?
Because if you don't add sugar, then there'll not be any sweetness.
Yeah. So that means you do some experiment. You prepare a coffee without sugar. You also prepare another coffee with the sugar. You also prepare another coffee with more sugar. Now, what will be the case with the coffee without sugar? No sweetness. Isn't it? Coffee with more sugar, more sweetness. Now people will start believing you. The same thing you need to do in your workplace also. Whenever people don't agree with you, particularly about the root cause, you do a little experiment. Generate data out of it. And then with the help of the data, you will be able to convince them. This is known as root cause validation. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
In statistics, this is known as hypothesis testing, which you will be learning only at the next level. What is next level? Green belt. Next level is green belt. So the green belt batch is happening on 12th of August, right? 12th of August. Those of you who want to have a deeper understanding of problem solving, you can upgrade to the next level known as green belt. So first step, root cause identification. Second step, root cause validation. Third step, studying the relationship of the root cause with your output variable. Now I ask you, what is the relationship between amount of sugar and sweetness? If I increase the amount of sugar, what will happen to the sweetness?
Fitness also increase.
Sweetness.
This is known as
Sweetness
positive
also
relationship.
increase.
This is known as positive relationship. When I increase sugar, sweetness
Directly
increases.
proportional to
Positive relationship, directly proportional.
Directly proportional, yes.
Sometimes what happen, I increase X, but my Y will decrease. Then the relationship is negative. Do you think this information is important?
Yes.
Really important, because you want to optimize your Y. So you should know what kind of relationship X has got on Y. Because you can take actions only on X, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
You can take action only on X. In turn, that will optimize your Y. So the third step in problem solving is studying the relationship between X variable and Y variable. Last step you need to do in root cause analysis is studying for the sufficiency of the factor. Which means the question is, how many root causes are involved? A crime has happened. How many criminals are involved? It's a good question. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If a crime has happened, we need to know how many criminals. If there is a group of criminals involved, same manner, group of root causes sometimes will play. If group of root causes affect our output, then what is the contribution of each of this factor? This is called factor sufficiency testing. What is this known as? Factor sufficiency testing. Sometimes what happens, we think that there is only one root cause and then we correct it. But even after correcting the root cause, our problem will continue. You know why? Because you have not addressed the other root causes. They still continue to play and they still affect your result. So when you say root cause analysis, there are 4 steps. What is the first step?
Root cause validation.
Find out the critical factors.
Identifying the critical factors.
Cause identification.
Root cause identification. Second step.
Validating critical factor.
Validation.
Relating the root cause with the others.
Root cause validation. Very good. Yeah. Third step.
Studying relationship between X and Y.
Very good. Studying the relationship between X and Y. Relationship can be positive. Relationship can be negative. Relationship can be linear. Relationship can be non-linear. All these informations are very, very important when you want to offer solution. When you want to offer solution, all these informations are required. Last step, verifying
Factor sufficiency
Factor
testing.
sufficiency testing.
verifying the sufficiency of the factor, which means how many root causes are involved. If multiple root causes are involved, what is the contribution of each of these factor? If you do analysis in this manner, then only it is called root cause analysis. If you only plot a fishbone diagram, it doesn't mean you are doing root cause analysis. So,
Sir, excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I have a doubt. Like the fourth step is factor sufficiency testing, which means that how many root causes are involved.
Yeah.
So if we identify more root causes, is the root cause validation required again?
Yeah, if there are more root causes, yes, validation is required for every root cause.
Okay, so second step is to be repeated.
Yeah. See, in the second step itself, we validate, root cause identification, straight away, there can be multiple root causes. Then we will validate all of them. Some of them will not get validated. That means we'll leave those causes.
Okay.
Isn't it? When you do
Okay.
a fishbone analysis, there can be 100 causes. All
Right.
100 may not be root causes. Only 3 or 4 will qualify as root causes. Multiple root causes. All 3 or 4 we validate. Then for each of the 4, we study the relationship.
Okay.
Then we study the contribution.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, sir. Understood.
And that's called sufficiency.
Okay,
This
sir. Thank you.
order of this explanation, I think, can be reversed, no? From the fourth to the first. Like the first can be put in
No,
the
no, no,
verifying.
No, it cannot be in the reverse. It should be in the same order only. The Six Sigma methodology will automatically guide you on the steps. You don't have to worry. There are 5 stages in a problem solving project: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. And inside each stage, there are 3 steps, right? And automatically all these things, whatever I am talking, will get covered, right? And there are tools for validation. What is the tool I suggested? Hypothesis testing. Am I right? Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Then for relationship and sufficiency, you can conduct correlation and regression analysis. Now, coming to this product, this is again a food product. What is this product called?
Laddu.
Laddu.
Bundi ka laddu.
Bundi ka laddu. Do you think laddu will also have CTQs?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Can you tell few CTQs for laddu?
Sweetness.
Shape of the laddu.
Sweetness.
It should be, please note, when you say
Aesthetic.
CTQ, it should be measurable. You can't simply say taste.
Shape, size,
Sweetness, color,
Size,
Shape, size,
of booty.
color.
Sweetness.
weight, color. Very good. So, all these things are CTQs. Now you want to imagine, you want to supply 10,000 laddus every day. Do you think a process is required now? SOP is required now?
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, what happen? Every laddu will have a different taste.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We need an SOP. We need some equipment. We need people to work on. We need supervisor, quality checker. And quality checker cannot check each and every laddu, isn't it? He will do only some sample study. He will
Random
do
checking.
random checking, and then laddu will be dispatched. All of you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Suppose, yeah. So whatever we discussed earlier in quality, the steps, all are applicable for laddu also. Now think about your product. Your product will also have CTQs, isn't it?
Sir. Yes,
Your
sir.
product will also have a process.
Yes, sir.
And then, you are doing the job of process control, process management. If you want laddus to have consistent quality throughout the year, every day the incoming raw material should be tested. The process should be under control, isn't it? Otherwise, what happens one particular day, all your laddus will be bad, and then you will lose heavily your money. All right, here is the process of making laddu. So process improvement is the key. Process has got 2 parameters. Process means input, output. You all know. Input, output, and set of activities will convert the input into output. And process has got 2 parameters. One is effectiveness. Another one is efficiency. You know what is effectiveness? Your process, when you say your process is effective, that means defects are impossible. If you are involved in process of making the laddu, you will not have any chance of making a defective laddu. Do you understand? I have a line where laddu is prepared and you do not have any chance of making a laddu defective. In such a way, I have designed my process. That means my process is effective. All of you understand the meaning of effectiveness?
Yes.
When I say my process is effective, defects are impossible. So effectiveness can be measured in terms of percentage. I can be 100% effective, or I can be 90% effective, or I can be 80% effective. Effectiveness can be measured in terms of sigma level. Effectiveness can be measured in terms of DPMO. Effectiveness can be measured in terms of ppm. There are several measures. Ultimately, we wanted to understand the level of effectiveness. Another parameter for your process is efficiency. You know what is efficiency? How much effort is required to produce a laddu? If more effort is required to produce a laddu, what does it mean? Your process is efficient or inefficient?
Inefficient.
Let's say for producing one laddu, 2.5 hours are required. Your process is highly inefficient.
Inefficient.
It takes more effort. It takes more time. Obviously, it will consume more resources and the cost of manufacturing laddu will be very, very high. Your profit will become very thin. So efficiency means the resources consumed must be in right quantity. The effort required should be minimum. If there is a problem in effectiveness, that can be taken up as a Six Sigma project. All of you understand what is a Six Sigma project? If there is a problem with the effectiveness, let's say your process effectiveness is only 90%. That means what? 10% of the units you produce are getting rejected. Every day you produce 10,000 laddu. 10% of 10,000 is getting wasted. You are scrapping it. You are throwing into dustbin. What is 10% of 10,000?
1,000.
1,000.
Every day 1,000 laddus are scrapped. So you want to reduce the rejection rate. That means it is a Six Sigma project. All of you understand? Improving effectiveness
Yes, sir.
means Six Sigma. On the other hand, imagine there are no laddus getting rejected. Every laddu is tastier and saleable. But still you don't make any profit. You know why? Even though you make quality laddu, you are not making any profit. You know why? You consume
Process is not
resources.
efficient.
You consume resources excessively. So effort is required to improve our process efficiency. Such projects are known as lean projects. All of you understand?
Yes,
If
sir.
you try to achieve it together, it is known as Lean Six Sigma project. Because we cannot compromise both, isn't it? Effectiveness cannot be compromised and efficiency must be optimized. We need best quality in our product. At the same time, we want thick profit. So both are important. That's why Lean and Six Sigma are integrated and it is collectively known as Lean Six Sigma. All of you understand what is Six Sigma now, by now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This idea evolved from a company known as Motorola, an US-based electronic gadget manufacturing company. Right? Actually, they introduced the Six Sigma in the year 1986. You know why they introduced the Six Sigma? Because they had some quality issues. Particularly, the competitors from Japan. The Japanese companies were outperforming the Americans. So that made Motorola to think and come out with a new approach known as Six Sigma. All right. And they had a strategic plan. The strategic plan is written here. Dinesh Kumar, your voice is cracking. Like we were talking about strategy. Motorola was also having a strategy. You know the strategy, what is written here? 10-fold improvement in a span of 5 years. That means 10 times growth in business in a span of 5 years. So in order to meet this kind of long-term goals, companies normally adopt approaches like Six Sigma. And this is what Motorola also did. In Motorola, there is an engineer by name Bill Smith. Today we call him father of Six Sigma. His name is Bill Smith. And he found that the extent of rework a product is undergoing has a significant relationship with its field life. Do you understand my statement? If a product has more rework, then field life will be less. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
if you want a long field life,
Please explain once again, sorry, no.
if a product undergoes more rework, then it will have less field life. That is his finding. That is true also, isn't it? If you make a product in a wrong manner and then correct it 10 times, do you think this product will perform better in the field? No.
No, sir.
So
No,
what
no,
is
sir.
required is a product which is produced correctly in the first attempt itself. If you rework, the life of the product will come down. So that's they understood one thing. We should always strive to do things right at the first time. Then they realize rework is also a failure. Isn't it? So this thinking, made them to introduce the new approach, which is known as Six Sigma. And to support Bill Smith, engineer, another person also was given the responsibility. His name is Dr. Michael Harry, who is a statistician. The combination of engineering and statistical brain really helped Motorola to come out very well, right? To come out very well. I think these people's photo available. Oh, you are seeing here. He is Bill Smith and he is Dr. Michael Harry and he is the CEO of the company. His name is Robert Bob Galvin. So this is a little history. And now look at the scenario number 1. Company, the numbers behind Motorola. And problem is quality is stinking, particularly stiff competition from the Japanese company. And the reason for embracing Six Sigma, they want to become world leaders in manufacturing of communication products, such as pagers, mobile phones, etc. Then, drawing inspiration from Motorola, this company also adopted Six Sigma. The company name is Asia Brown Boveri. They are into robotics and heavy electric equipment manufacturing. And their reason for embracing Six Sigma, urgent need for major improvement. Why? How they recognized urgent need? Their performance is below average. They are well below the world-class performance. Their defect levels are 60% higher in comparison to the competitors. Their profit levels are low compared to the competitor. See here, last statement. Your competitor making 10% more profit. Is it really a problem? Your competitor making more profit. Is it a problem for you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
If you say yes, then Six Sigma is required for you. If you are not able to recognize the gap there, the problem there, then you have then the company has a long way to adopt Six Sigma. That's why many companies think that Six Sigma is not for them. Right. So third company, General Electric. The reason why adopted Six Sigma is one of their scanner was taking more time to do the scanning activity. It takes 3 minutes. But for the same operation, the competitor scanning machine can do it in less than 30 seconds. So this is the reason why General Electric adopted Six Sigma. And now you are seeing the results. Motorola, they made a saving of $2.2 billion every year and $1 billion saving in non-manufacturing. That means Six Sigma is applicable in manufacturing as well as non-manufacturing. You can't say, sir, I am working in accounts department, so I cannot adopt Six Sigma. You can't say, sir, I am working in marketing and sales. I can't adopt Six Sigma. And some of you might think, can Six Sigma applicable in logistics, supply chain? Why not? All that required is a metric and a necessity to improve the metric. Sometimes it is critical to quality. Sometimes it is critical to business. Because both are important. Certain characteristics are important to your customer and certain characteristics and certain metrics are important to your business. If there is a problem, yes, Six Sigma is applicable. And 68% reduction in defect levels, 30% reduction in production cost, $898 million saving, right, in cost of poor quality. And General Electric, by spending $500 million, why so much? People have to be trained to talk like this. Because Six Sigma is a scientific approach, scientific way of problem solving. It works at the level of controlling the variation at the input. Thereby, output quality will improve, right? And they got back $2 billion in 1 year and $12 billion in 5 years. So these kind of breakthrough improvements are possible with the Six Sigma. So what is Six Sigma? Six Sigma is an operational excellent model. That means you are focusing something, you are trying to achieve something in long term. Can you see that, all of you? If you want to double your profit, if you want to double your market share, right? If you want to improve your, quality to something, comparable against world-class quality, yes, Six Sigma can be helpful to you. So Six Sigma is an operational excellence model, aggressive campaign to boost the profitability, improve the market share, and improve the customer satisfaction, but keeping quality as the strategic business focus, right? By improving the quality, we improve the all other things. And ultimately, the benefit is customer satisfaction, cost reduction, even legal compliance. And definitely, in order to achieve these kind of breakthrough results, do you think people with relevant skills are required? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
They are known
Yes,
as Six Sigma belts. Somebody will be leading the improvement project. Somebody will be working as the team member. And for the entire project team, the top management should support. They are known as champion and sponsor. If you do not have this kind of infrastructure of people, it becomes very difficult for the organization to recognize the improvement opportunity and fix the root cause. See here the hierarchy. It has white belt, yellow belt, green belt, black belt, master black belt, champion, and sponsor. White belt means just an awareness. I am trying to convert all of you into white belt. That means you all have to first of all start believing in the basic principles, isn't it? Unless and until you respect the basic principle, I cannot make you work on, defect reduction and variation reduction. I can't expect you to think in a scientific manner, isn't it? So you have to be completely convinced, first of all, right, about the principles and benefits of embracing these principles and Six Sigma. And that is called white belt. If you say, sir, whatever we spoke so far, last 2 hours, 3 hours, they are all correct, that moment you become white belt. If you still doubt, whatever we spoke, then that means, you have to again go through the lot of stuffs to become a white belt. But becoming a white belt is not enough to work on a project. And that's why the immediate formal qualification is yellow belt. And yellow belt means you can work in Six Sigma project, but then you will always be under the guidance of green belt and black belts. It is like nurses working in hospital. Nurses give treatment to patient, but then as per the guidance given by medical doctors. Am I correct? The same manner, yellow belts will be under the guidance of green and black belt. They will be having a limited knowledge about Six Sigma, limited knowledge about the Six Sigma methodology, define, measure, analyze, improve, control. And then they will be having a limited knowledge about the Six Sigma tools and techniques. So in order to lead projects, move up in the ladder, one has to graduate to the next level known as green belt and black belt. So green belt will work on a project of lesser complexity, but black belt will work on a project even at a higher level of complexity. Higher level of complexity means multiple departments are involved in the same project. Lesser complexity means project scope is limited to just one department, and that department is your department. All of you understand what is a green belt project? If you work on a project, work on an improvement where the scope is limited only to your department, then the project is known as green belt project. A green belt is expected to complete 2 projects in a year. A black belt is expected to complete 6 projects in a year, right? And there is one more level called master black belt, You know what is master black belt? The person who will train others as green belts and black belts and yellow belts and so on. He can be an employee or he can be an external consultant to your company. And it is the master black belt who will produce other belts. It is the master black belt who will develop KPIs and metrics for the organization, for the department. And he will work closely with the top management and then mentor the project teams towards success. And champion and sponsor, they are leadership team. Like for every child, there are parents, right? There will be father and mother. Same manner, for every improvement project, there should be a mother and father. The father is project sponsor, the mother is project champion. Because sponsor is the person who has the authority to provide resources and give approval to implement the project. And then as per the approval, as per the approved budget, the resources must be provided to the project team, and time to time, frequent support will be required. And that will be taken care by a person known as champion. All of you, do you understand all the belt levels and the responsibilities?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I want your permission to go up to 10.
Sir.
Shall we
Sir,
go?
I have a doubt here.
Yeah.
So at present, I'm handling a project in which I am a leader. Okay. And my manager is a sponsor.
Okay.
So this happens in it is an improvement project. This happens in with the help of excellence team.
Okay. With the help of?
Excellence team. We
Okay.
have an
Excellence team.
excellence
I
team.
understand. Excellence team. Very good.
Yeah. So I'm not Six Sigma trained. So how do you look into this? Like I have members. I'm the leader. Like I have there are team coaches there. And there is nothing called as team leader, but leader is there.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. That means, there are projects happening where non-belts are also participating. That is your point. Am I right?
Exactly.
Now the uncertainties can be more. These uncertainties can pull your projects towards failure. The chances will be more. But if you carefully develop a culture that is suitable for Six Sigma, every single project can save lakhs and crores. Do you get my point?
Yeah, I understand.
You might be now tasting some success, but if you really wanted to taste breakthrough results, you should also have this kind of infrastructure. Slowly and steadily, your business excellence team will realize people have to be converted into bells before working on Six Sigma project. Sometimes what happens, companies call project as a Six Sigma project, but it may not be worth it. Do you get my point?
Yeah, I understand.
So these kind of, everything it takes some level of maturity. Like how we all grow from a level of a kid to a matured adult, your organization will also slowly mature and then start respecting on all these requirements. These are proven success roadmap. You can simply adopt without, questioning, the principles. So here some responsibilities are given. You all can read it. The material will also be shared. I think that will come tomorrow. So yellow belt responsibility is to participate in the meeting and help with administrative task, meet with the project leaders and make recommendation. So I want all your permission for another 10-15 minutes. Can you grant it? Shall we spend?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
no problems.
Thank you so much, right? So that tomorrow onwards you can start learning the DMAC. So what is Six Sigma? Six Sigma is a management philosophy to meet the business objective. How? By reducing variation. Because Six Sigma experts, they know if they reduce variation at the input, variation at the output will reduce. If the variation reduce, defects will vanish. Your product will comfortably pass through the warranty period. You are not only talking about quality at the time of inspection. You are talking about quality throughout the warranty period, right? You have become much more proactive. It is a data-driven methodology for decision-making and process improvement. To improve the performance, we need to decrease the variation and hence defects. Look here, there are two processes. Normally, process is represented in the form of a bell curve. And here there is a process in which you can see the bell curve having a higher spread. Am I right? Can you see a higher spread here? But in the other process, the spread is very less. That's why the curve is narrower. All of you are able to notice this? The spread is
Yes,
more
sir.
here. The
Yes,
spread
yes.
is less here. If the spread is less, that simply means variation is less. If the spread is more, variation is more. If variation is more, automatically rejections will be more. Why? Customer always have CTQ. Customer always have limits, isn't it? Tolerable limit with respect to every CTQ. See here, limits are drawn here. Upper limit known as upper spec limit, lower specification limit. Same limits are drawn here. Upper specification limit, lower specification limit. For the same requirement, this process, which is wider, is going beyond the spec. If you produce outputs or products or offer services beyond the specification, do you think customer will accept everything?
No.
No. No.
They are known as rejection. They are known as rejection. Rejections will be high if variations are high. Rejection will be less if variations are less. So this is known as Six Sigma. So Six Sigma can be used as a metric that will tell you the level of effectiveness of your process. Six Sigma is a methodology. Define, measure, analyze, improve, control. Six Sigma can be used as a problem-solving methodology. You can train your people on DMAC and you can expect them to work on DMAC. They will perform the root cause analysis very beautifully. Root cause identification, root cause validation, then root cause relationship, then root cause sufficiency. Nothing can escape from their eyes. Such a powerful methodology it is. You don't have to rely on any other methodology. One methodology that can solve all types of problems, be it complex or be it simple. Six Sigma can be used as a way of management. You can link the belt level and the career progress of your employees. People who are doing more projects, they are given more increments and promotions. Belt level is connected to the career growth. That's the best way. You know, Six Sigma can be deployed in any company. People will be motivated to acquire new knowledge and implement the learnings, right? Six Sigma can be used as a way of management. And Six Sigma is a philosophy. You and me can use Six Sigma to improve anything. You want to improve your health. Do you want to use Six Sigma? Yes, you can use Six Sigma. And what actually decides our health? Certain body parameters decides our health. Am I right or not? Our
Yes,
sugar
sir.
level, our cholesterol level, our BP level. There are many body parameters. All of them are Y variable. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Your sugar level, your
Yes,
BP level, your cholesterol level, all of them depends on your daily routine. What do you eat? How do you sleep? How do you work? These are all called the X factors. You have control over the X factor. I mean, you have direct control over the X factor. When you control the X factor, what will happen to your Y factor? That will improve. You will become healthier and healthier. Then your vision of living for 150 years will become a reality. X will improve Y. Y will improve Z. What is Z? Business result. Profit is an Z variable. Market share is a Z variable. But all of them depends on Y variable. And Y variable in turn depends on X variable. Take care of the X so that you can take care of the Y. So that you can also take care of the Z, which are nothing but the results you expect from any business. This is called Six Sigma thinking. So this can be used in any business, in any product, any service. So we call it metric. We call it methodology because there are two methodology, one for improvement, one for development. For improvement, because you already have something and you have a problem, you improve. You have nothing, but you want to introduce something new. That is called development. For development, you have DMAT V. For improvement, you have DMAC. Define, measure, analyze, improve, control. Here it is define, measure, analyze, design and validate. Those of you who are working in product development, you will be using this methodology, DMAT V. Using DMAT V for developing new product. That is known as design for Six Sigma. So Six Sigma can be a way of management and Six Sigma can be a philosophy. So taking a deeper look, define, measure, analyze, improve, control. A problem well defined is half done. What do we mean by define? The problem is understood clearly to the extent that you even measure the problem. That means the CTQs are very, very clear. If CTQs are identified and CTQs are made measurable, it simply means problem is defined. Am I correct?
Yes.
All of you started sleeping?
Correct, sir, correct.
Yes, sir.
Just few more slides. I'll finish so that you are ready for a full-fledged learning tomorrow. Because tomorrow, one more trainer will be coming and he will be taking you through the define phase. So define means CTQs are very, very clear. Particularly the CTQ under trouble is understood, right? And then measure means you get the baseline of the CTQ. You have the baseline performance very clearly. The ground reality is understood. You say rejection percentage. The correct rejection percentage is understood. But the challenge with the measure phase is measurement error. Every time you measure, it will come with the error. The measurement error should be less than 10%. That's an industry standard. You need to understand that. So once you know the measurements are free from error, you have the ground reality. You have the baseline. Then you move on to analyze phase. In analyze phase, I already spoke enough. Root cause identification, root cause validation, root cause relationship, and finally, root cause sufficiency. If you do all of this, you are now ready to talk about the solution. If you don't know what is the root cause, you don't know how many root causes, you don't know relationship of the root cause, you are not sure whether the number of root causes you are attacking are sufficient or not. With all these challenges in place, can you talk about solution? Tell me. If you can't talk about solution, isn't it? That means you are going in a very erratic manner, trial and error way of generating a solution. And that's not the case of Six Sigma methodology. If you offer a solution, the solution will definitely fix the problem because you have gone through the stringent stages of DMAC methodology. Now, in the improve phase, you develop solution. You provide solution. Solution is sometimes known as treatment. And now in the control phase, you will establish some control measures. You will develop control plan. Why control plan? The same problem should not come again. Now you see here in define phase, you are talking about why. In measure phase, you are measuring why. In analyze phase, you are working on the right side of the equation, which are X. Can you see of you? The shifting in the analyze phase. You change your focus from Y to X in the analyze phase. In the improve phase, you optimize the X. In the control phase, you control the X. Because you control the X, Y will be under control. That means problem cannot happen. So these 5 stages you are going to learn in the upcoming sessions, where we break down even the define, every stage into simple steps. Define phase is broken down into 3 simple steps. Ultimately, the project proposal is the outcome of define phase. We call it project charter. What is the outcome of define phase? Approved project charter. Outcome of measure phase? Baseline performance, correct baseline performance. Outcome of analyze phase? Validated root causes. Outcome of improve phase? A solution ready for implementation. Outcome of control phase? Control plan. For producing each of these outcomes, how many steps you have to perform? 3 steps. And there are certain tools and techniques recommended. Using the tools, you can work very diplomatically and deliver results at every step. you deliver results every step, then every phase you will be successful. If you are successful every phase, your whole project will definitely hit the results and you will be appreciated, on your, for your project success. And I'm not going to read out the tools because we will be seeing them in detail in the upcoming sessions, but not completely, but the important ones we will be seeing. So the focus of Six Sigma, what is your choice here? Please answer this question. All of you, you can come on video for 2 more
Reduce defects.
Reduce the defects.
Both.
Yeah,
Both.
very good. Six Sigma originated from which company? And all of you can try to answer this.
Motorola.
Very good. Six Sigma originated from Motorola. Now, who is known as father of Six Sigma?
Will Smith.
Will Smith is known as father of Six Sigma. What is the focus of lean?
Reduce waste.
Reduce waste. An organization want to improve their existing product. Which methodology they should use?
DMAC.
You are using DMAT V for developing a new product. What is it known as? DFSS. Very good. Be louder. Design for Six Sigma. Hope all of you are with me, not sleeping. Another 2 minutes. So effectiveness means, what do we mean by effectiveness? Make it right.
No defects.
Very good. I really appreciate. Producing defect-free products. Offering defect-free services. In general, defect-free outputs. Right? Defects are impossible in your products and services. That means your process is effective. So efficiency means, what is your understanding?
How much effort is required to produce any products or improve
Less,
the efficiency?
less effort, minimal consumption of resources. Right? Resources are consumed only in the required quantity. No over consumption.
Reducing rework and waste.
Efficiency means waste-free operations. Efficiency means you are always staying productive every single minute. So Six Sigma means doing right things. Lean means doing the right things in a right manner. This is Six Sigma and this is lean. Root cause analysis means, what is your understanding? Root cause analysis means, what is the first step?
Identify the root cause.
Identification. Second step.
Validation of the root cause.
Getting critical factor.
Root cause validation.
Validating critical factor.
Third step. Relationship. Last step. Root cause sufficiency. And that's it from me for today. Now you are all set. You are all ready to learn the DMAC methodology. What is the main deliverable at the end of defined phase? Your project proposal is approved. Your project charter is approved. Project charter is just a one-page document. That will impress your project sponsor to quickly approve it. This is the outcome of defined phase. What is the outcome of measure phase? Baseline, the correct baseline. What is the outcome of analyze phase? Validated root causes. You are now ready to take action, right? And improve phase. You optimize the action. That means you offer solution. Control phase. You develop a control plan. This flow is known as DMAC project, and this is the methodology behind Six Sigma. So thank you so much, all of you, for permitting me to go beyond 10 o'clock, and I hope it was useful to you on day one.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Very clearly explained.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, please fill up the feedback form that will be posted in the WhatsApp.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so
Good
much.
night. Good night.
Good night, sir. Good night, sir.
Thanks, sir. Good night, sir. Sir, when will you get the recording session?
Right? Recording will be provided. Don't worry. We are recording and that will be provided to you probably Monday afternoon or evening. You will get it.
Okay, thank you so much. Sir.
Course material also will be coming to you. They will be emailing you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Welcome.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Harigaran.